It is time for cranial nerve fun times. Does this look familiar? This is the inferior surface of the brain. This is looking at the brain from the bottom side. Can you identify any brain parts? Like this one right here. This is my pons. Does it look familiar? This is medulla oblongata, also known as MO. Here is cerebrum. So we're just looking at the bottom side of a brain. Check it out. Here's spinal cord with my little butterfly. Fly away, butterfly. Don't fly away, butterfly. Oh, dear. Let's name all of our cranial nerves. The good news is that they're all named from anterior to posterior. And anterior is the front. Oh, right here. And that's cranial nerve number 1. I don't know if this is good news or bad news for you, depending on whether or not you learned Roman numerals in your life ever. You have to know the number of the cranial nerve, and it's a Roman numeral number. And yes, you have to know the Roman numeral number. Cranial nerve number 1 is the olfactory nerve. And this is it right here. Cranial nerve number 2 is the optic nerve. And again, these are all coming in pairs. So here's the optic nerve. Cranial nerve number 3 is the oculomotor nerve. Guess what? They all carry certain kind of fibers and do something specific. But we're going to sort them out and deal with those specific functions in the next set. So we're just identifying them right now. Guess who this is? Oh, you guys are so smart. It's number 4. Number 4 is trochlear. Number 5 is the big guy. The big guy is trigeminal. Number 6, right her. We're going through there. 6 is abducens. That says abducens. 7 is this guy right here. 7 is facial. And we'll talk about each of them specifically in a second. 8 is vestibulocochlear. What? Yes, watch this. Vestibulocochlear. That actually tells you all of its functions. The name does. 9. Oops. We know that this is 9. 9 is glossopharyngeal. Pharyngeal. 10. 10 is a big one. Vagus. Not spelled like the town. I probably will notice that and take off points. 11, accessory. Doesn't it kind of look like a little necklace? Yes. And 12, okay, all of them totally work for me until we get to 12. All the pictures show 12 being like, really? It comes back. And that is always a little bit disturbing for me, but that's cool. It is hypoglossal. Hypoglossal. Now, talk about the most glorious sorting question ever. with cranial nerves. That's cool. There's something else that I need you to do. I look at this and I just go, ugh. I highly recommend being able to draw it. So guess what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to draw it right now. And we're going to relabel. Maybe we'll just do the numbers, all of them. Now watch. We're going to keep this picture here for reference, but I need some space. I'm going to make my pawns a little green bubble like this. Remember how we drew our spinal cord and you were like, really, do I have to draw it that many times? And has it been on like every single quiz since you were instructed how to draw your spinal cord? So yes, you should know how to do it. This might be a similar type question. See my medulla oblongata? It's blue. Watch this. Look at how I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do like, it's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That works for you, doesn't it? And then we can even do like lines. Do you see my lines in this over here? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my medulla. And eventually, hopefully, this is like, oh, yeah, I can totally draw this thing. Guided drawing. So cool. That's all we need. Those are the structural parts. Then we know that all the rest of this surrounding here is all cerebrum up here. Okay, ready? We have our cranial nerves, and they go like this. We got to have like a little antenna. That's 1. Then, what does 2 look like it does? 2 makes a little crisscross underneath there, right? There's 2. Okay, let's do 3. Look at 3. 3 comes out of the pons, and so 3 can be right there. How about 4? I wonder if I'm going to run out of colors here. I'll make 4 this lovely color. 4 comes out on the side, like little arms. And 5 is a big guy. 5 does something like this, like really big arms. And you'll see why, because it actually has 3 parts. Does that work for you? Now, we're going to go to 6, and 6, look, it's going to look like this. It comes right out of the medulla. Now, I say it comes right out of the medulla. What you have to remember is that these are just pathways, and they actually have, their cell bodies are somewhere in brain tissue, forming a nucleus. And we could actually track all the nuclei for each one of these cranial nerves, which would be, you would love me. You already love me, don't you? Of course you do. Let's do number 7. 7, I lost track of myself. 7 comes out here on the side. And again, it's nice because they all come out in the, in order. Let's do 8. 8 comes out next, still kind of surrounded by pons. 9, that is 9 right there. 9 is next. Again, I'm cool. Piece of cake. 9 is coming out on the edge here. 1, there's 9. Maybe we'll make it a little thicker because it looks like kind of a thicker one. 10, this is a big one, an important one. Shall we make it bright yellow? The vagus nerve. And then 11. 11 is that one that looks really cool. Dude, they all look cool. Having a hard time deciding on colors. It looks something like this, right? Do you see that? That's number 11. And then we have 12. 12 comes back. I'm going to make 12 black. 12 comes back and comes out of here. All right. If that hurt your head, if that process was like, oh, my lordy, really? Whatever. That, I think it's important to be able to visualize it and draw it in order. And it isn't an overwhelming image that you have here, and it helps you put them in order and imagine them as such. If you can do that, you are awesome. Now, we're going to sort our cranial nerves, and the first group that we're going to look at are all the cranial nerves that just have sensory fibers. That's it. Only sensory information is traveling through these cranial nerves. That's our first group.